Okay, guys, so we're live. Welcome to week 5, everybody that's tuned in to our live broadcast here at Tarleton State University for our Tarleton OOP course. And welcome to the back channel. I see that you guys are already in there participating, and it's great to see you guys. Great to see Wilbert and Hannah and Brenda, and looks like Sherry. Great to have you guys on here. I want to kick this off and start out by introducing my amazing team leads that have been part of this journey, the last 3 to participate in this final broadcast. So Carol, I'll start with you if you'll just quickly introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Carol Peckinpah, and I have been team lead for the Knowledge Seekers, so glad to see that you're here tonight. I'm finishing up my master's program. I'll be graduating in August 6th, and it's just been such a great journey to be a part of this. I'm going to miss all of you guys. I think I'm going to cry. You guys have been awesome.
You can't cry yet. We just got started, Carol.
I'm already missing it.
Oh. Cheyenne, how about you?
Hi everybody, I'm Cheyenne Cook. I've been the team lead for Team Connectors, and I've just really enjoyed my experience with all of you. I've learned so much, and I hope that we can all continue to collaborate and share ideas with each other even after we're done here. So, and you're rock, and you've done a good job, so I'm excited.
And Tessa?
Hi, I'm Tessa Bryan. I'm the team lead for Innovators and also in the middle of my working my doctorate degree. This has been an amazing experience, and I'm just so glad I got a chance to collaborate with all of you. And I hope that you've learned something you can take away from the class. I know I certainly have. So.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, in addition to the team leads who have done just an outstanding job and are about to finish and graduate, I want to also just thank really quickly Julie Ward. My co-teacher. I could not have done this without her, and this, it's been such a good experience for me to work on this course with her and to see what we can accomplish together. And just want to say, Julie, that I really appreciate all your help on this course. And then, all the resources that we use here at Tarleton, the help desk, the IT people, the Blackboard people, all of them are part of this experience. And I just want to say how great it is to have a supportive university that supports something where we can offer it for free and our graduate students get something out of it and we get something out of it. It's just a really neat experience. So, okay, enough of that. We do want to get to the week 5 broadcast and your questions from week 4. I appreciate all that you're saying on the back channel about not wanting the course to end. We were just kind of giggling a little bit beforehand that we might go crazy if the course doesn't end. So you don't want to see that. But we definitely look forward to offering it again next summer. So if you have a colleague that you think would benefit, be sure and tell them. We will be offering it next summer. And then, of course, if you want to really dig in and learn more deeply, then think about starting your master's program. That's a chance for you to really, course by course, delve into some of these topics a little bit more deeply. So I encourage you to look into that as well. Okay, so to your questions from week 4, we had quite a few good ones come in, and I wanted to start with a shout out to the resource cheat sheet that Julie created for you guys. So this, again, is a shared spreadsheet where you can go in and add your contact information, but it has links for all the content in the course. So if you find yourself thinking, oh, I know that I learned something in week 4, you can go to the resource cheat sheet and find it there. And Julie, do you have that pulled up? Do you want to share it, show them just really quickly again? If not, we can...
No, I'll pull it up, and while we're waiting, we had a question about the soft chalks, if they'll have access to those after the course, and I just said they could go through and kind of save those links, and they could access it until we start updates for next year. So.
Yeah, so the links to my soft chalks you can have, they'll be in that resource cheat sheet forever. And then your own soft chalks that you created in the cloud, you also get those links forever. So your 30-day trial that you signed up for, anything that you publish in that 30 days you get to keep. So that link stays there. So use that to the fullest of your capabilities. That way you can actually use that content. So I wasn't sure if you were talking about my SoftChalk Cynthia or your own, but in both instances you get to keep the links there. So I see some other questions coming in, so I'll go ahead and jump to those first. So where can we find more of the sets for VR? So Julie actually ordered those for us from a company where I think they were about $1.50 a piece, but then you had to put them together. That was sort of so you can buy them already put together, I think, for about $15. There's a company called Knox too that makes them. There's quite a few companies that make them. But if you just get on Amazon and type in Google Cardboard or Cardboard Viewer or VR Viewer, you can find lots of different options and prices for those. Looks like Mindy said she found some on eBay 20 for $37. So they're definitely places for you to find them. And if you're coming to the iChampion conference in a few weeks here in Stephenville, we're also going to be giving out free cardboard sets to the participants in our session. So you'll get another set there if you come to that. So okay. Let's see if there's anything else. Nope. Just kudos for team leads and how much they've learned. So that's really nice for you guys to say. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's look at another question that came in from week 4. We had one come in from Tracy Bailey on your team, Cheyenne. She wanted to know sort of the pros and cons of Google Drive versus Dropbox. And so I wondered, have you guys used both platforms, and if so, what do you see as the pros and cons?
Yeah, I have. I downloaded Dropbox, I think, for one class, and then I kind of used it to upload some other things, but I ran out of space in Dropbox rather quickly, and now it keeps telling me for more space I need to upgrade and I need to pay for it. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a con. I like Google Drive or Google Apps because that I have a lot of space, and I have so much stuff in my Google Drive. I don't even know how I have space still left. So, and with Google Drive, I can. People were saying that with Dropbox, they can access it anywhere. Well, I can access Google Drive anywhere. I know that my Android automatically came with Google Apps automatically downloaded on my phone, and they're automatically downloaded on some tablets already. So I personally like Google Drive better, just because you don't have to pay for extra space.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I've used both, and the thing that I like about Google Drive that you can't beat on Dropbox is the real-time collaboration features. So what I found in Dropbox is if I upload an Excel spreadsheet and someone else opens it, you're not editing in real time. So sometimes you end up with duplicate copies. And so it's good for like file storage, and I use it. I have a lot of pictures that I store there, but I don't use it for things like documents or spreadsheets or things that I put in Drive, because another feature that I love about Drive is that you can search in that little search bar at the top, one word, and it'll pull up any document in your entire Drive that's related. So I'm never going to lose anything, and I don't have to be organized in Drive. I don't know if any of you have ever seen my Drive when I've done a screen share, but it is not organized, and it probably drives Julie crazy. But at least, when we share, she's able to stay organized, and I always just use the search feature to find whatever. I just think that's a really nice part of Google Drive. Plus, it's free. Teacher's favorite F word, free. And so, I think there are some pros and cons for sure, but those are the ones that I can think of. And what you said, Cheyenne, is so true as well. If I'm not going to pay for it if it's going to run out, so. Good deal. So hopefully, Tracy, that answers your question about the difference there. We also had a question from Teresa on Christian's Team Creators, wanting to know sort of why should I start a blog? And if I do want to start a blog, how should I start a blog? And so, Carol, I know you had come up with a few really good points there about, what's the benefit? What do you get out of blogging?
Okay, so one of the benefits of using blogging is that it makes you and promotes that you're going to become a better writer. Because if you write something for an audience to see, it's authentic, and it kind of encourages you to become a really skillful writer because you know other people are going to be reading it. It also makes you a better thinker because you're sharing a lot of ideas from other people that are have the same interests, so you become more open-minded and seeing how other people view the same thing or even propose new things to you that you weren't thinking about before. So blogging creates healthy habits. The other thing I noticed is that you also meet new people. I mean, people that are outside of your circle that could be anywhere in the country or in a different country. So, I mean, it does offer you, you just really get to see more. It also inspires you. It can also make you become a little bit more well-rounded because you're sharing ideas. So, and it's free.
Yep, that's
so
true.
personal journaling as well. I mean, you can do a lot of your own personal journaling. A lot of people probably go in there and they write about their own experiences in there and share it. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of
absolutely.
personal journaling.
Yeah, that's what in week 5 you're learning about how it's the worst thing that you can do is take a course like the one you've been a part of the last 5 weeks or 4 weeks and not share what you know with someone else. And so that's what blogging can be a good platform for is, if you're getting good at something in your classroom, why not share that with the world so that other teachers can benefit from it, other students, other classrooms. So sharing is definitely, in my mind, a huge benefit. What about in terms of anybody have thoughts on doing a class blog or having your own students blog?
I think having your own students blog, it also makes them accountable for their work. Like Carol was saying, they have an audience that's not just, the teacher. It can be seen by anybody, and they're going to take their work just a little bit more serious. I know that I've considered doing a blog that's just like a writing blog, and they upload their writing assignments, their final draft, they upload that into just like a class blog. And so parents and administration can see their writing assignments, and then it has the log, and that way they can go back and they can see what their writing was like in August versus what it was like in May. So I thought about doing it, but it's just a working around what the school will allow with blogs. So
Cool.
because Blogger at my campus is blocked. So
yeah, I really like that what you just said, where they can see how their writing has grown from the beginning of the school year to the end of the school year. Especially if it's something that it's their blog, so if they keep up with it over the years, they can really see how they've grown. So we were talking about that earlier about seeing how much that we've changed just within our own program. So for them, it's important to see how much they've grown.
Yeah, I agree. That's a really good point that I hadn't thought of. The other thing too to remember with blogs is it doesn't have to be, so if you're worried about students disclosing something that they shouldn't and cybersecurity and that kind of thing, you can password protect your blog and just share it with parents or just with the teachers within the school or whatever audience you want you can have, and so I think that's an important thing to remember there. You don't have to open it up for the whole world. She was just asking, looks like Mindy was asking what some of the options are for blogs, and so the ones that I'm familiar with is WordPress, Blogger. You can use Weebly for a blog. In fact, I've talked about Weebly before. I think Weebly could be a really neat platform because you can do both text-based and video-based and picture-based entries, and so I think it's a neat one. Do you guys know of any other other platforms? Tumblr's a blogging platform, isn't it?
You can use it as kind of it's pictures and blogging, and then Blogster, and then also Blogger is now owned by Google, So when you click on the matrix, you can actually go in. You've got an account already, and it ties to all of your, like you can add stuff from your drive, and they acquired that within the last year, I think. So it's nice. And then you have to check and see what your school will allow. But if they are a Google school, then Blogger should be opened up. And then you can also set it to where you have to approve posts. Not that you want to read every single post before it's out there, but if that's a concern, you know, students might post something inappropriate or, you know, not safe, then you can set it so that you have to approve it.
Yeah, I think all of those reasons. I see, Dominic, that you use that in your own business ethics class, and I think that's really neat at a college level too. I've seen here at Tarleton, our kinesiology department has used student content to make a blog that's nationally and internationally recognized now. So their students really have ownership of that, and their writing has been taken to the next level because of it, and because of the comments that they're getting from all over the world about what they're writing. And so it's really neat to see that develop, you know, and it's all student-generated content. So really neat ideas there for blogging. So let's look and see. So speaking of that iChampion conference in a few weeks, you should have received an email from Brianna Hodges here in Stephenville with a 40% off discount code for that conference. No pressure if you don't want to attend, but if you do, I'd welcome you to Stephenville and love to meet you guys face to face. And Julie and I are presenting a session on what you're experiencing this week in week 5, the virtual reality tools that you can use in your classroom. So. And that is, Julie, help me with the dates because I'm not sure. July
26th and 27th. And I put the link out there to register, and I told them if they didn't receive that email for some reason from Brianna, I'm going to put her contact email because she'd okay that, and then they can contact her to get that code because I don't have the code.
Okay, cool. I wanted to jump into, so there's a really good question about Chrome tabs. Let me see who that came from really quickly if I can find it.
It was at the bottom, and I think it was Judy from my team.
Yeah, Judy. Thanks for that question. So I have this same problem, and I found an answer for you that actually helped me this week. So I appreciate your question because it helped me a ton. So her question is, when she works on her weekly lessons in this course, she finds that she has like 15 tabs in Chrome that open. And so I downloaded a Chrome extension called, hang on, let me find it, called OneTab. And what it does is it collapses all your tabs into one tab with a table of contents. And it says that it reduces the memory usage on your machine by like 97%. And so I've been using that this week, and it really it's nice because I can quickly go where I need to go, and I don't have the zillion tabs, and I'm not, you know, searching for things as much. So I appreciate you asking that question, Judy, because now I've installed it and use it, and I am enjoying it. So again, that tab extension or Chrome extension is called OneTab. So good question there. All right, so we also had a question come in about comparable apps for Chromebooks and Google apps, because we talked a lot about iPhone apps. So I wanted to talk about some of those differences. I know, Cheyenne, you have an Android phone, so you're probably familiar with some of the apps. A lot of the apps that I've talked about in week 4 are both available in the iPhone App Store and in the Android App Store. So don't think that because I posted it's only available for iPad or iPhone. But in terms of Chromebook apps and Google apps, any that you guys want to talk about?
Well, I just experimented with my sticky note today.
Oh yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm so used to using the Apple and apps and stuff just because I do most of it just on my iPad or my phone. And even though I have an Apple computer, I have it partitioned because I like using Microsoft products for Word and things like that. So I didn't realize that when I select the little button over on the left-hand side, it's also one of those little matrix, a little colorful one. When I select it, it actually takes me to the Chrome things that are being offered to me. So there, you can go actually to a Chrome app, and there's a whole bunch of free different apps that they have for Chromebook. And then if you choose to use one of those free ones, it actually saves it in the same kind of matrix that Google Docs does, or Google products, but it's just on the other side of my machine. Yeah. And it's little colorful 9 little squares again, and so you click on it, and there it is. My sticky notes were there. So they're little sticky notes, just like the real thing, but they're virtual ones, and you can type on them, and it just stuck to my computer. And then when I needed it, I can go back, and then as I I did that sticky, I can just throw it in the trash, just like a real sticky note. I was so excited. It just changed my whole world here tonight, because that's just how my brain works. I don't like using calendars a whole lot because I feel like I have a big old page in front of me and it's everything at once. So I'm a huge fan of sticky notes because I want to see them one at a time at me. So I'm the kind of person that has all these sticky notes stuck along the bottom of her computer screen. And then one by one, I just kind of tear them off. So, but yeah, if you just go to the Chromebook app store, they have free apps in there. And once you choose one, if you pick it, that's where you're going to find it, under the Chrome little matrix. So,
yeah, I'm totally with you. I am so not in like Camp apps, iPhone apps, or Camp Chromebook, or Camp Google or whatever. I just want good tools, and I'm willing to try any. So I'm with you, and I want to share another. So the extensions for your Chrome browser are really cool. If you've not really looked at that, let me just show you really quick one that I found. I wasn't planning to do this, but I want to show you this. So can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
So this is a Chrome extension. It is called, hang on, let me find what it's called. It is called Momentum. It's free. And basically anytime I open up a new tab, it has just a gorgeous picture each day. And it asks me what my focus is. Let me see if it'll do it if I take this off. Yeah. So it'll ask me, what is your main focus for today? So when I first come in, I can say, okay, my main focus for today is catching up on, whatever, or answering phone calls, or communicating with people. So I have a main focus, and then I have a little to-do list over here. So you can see I can quickly type in something here and add it to my to-do list. And then I can mark stuff off, kind of like what you said, Carol. It feels good to mark something off and be done with it. So that's a really neat Chrome extension. Then I found one here called I can't even pronounce what that is, but it's sounds. So it's for productivity, and you can play like a summer storm sound, and it runs in the background. You can set a timer, like if you're trying to get something done within 30 minutes. I like that feature because if I tell myself I'm going to answer email for 30 minutes, I can get so much more done than if I'm just kind of doing it, in between other tasks. So that's a neat one. And then I told you all about Tab Scissors, Tab Glue. That's another really neat one. This Bitmoji one, I've showed you guys the one that I created, I think. I don't know if I ever showed this class my Bitmoji. I think I showed that to someone else, but you can create an avatar that looks, I don't think mine looks anything like me, but that looks somewhat like you, and you can have all these neat little, sayings that you can send to people with your avatar, so that's a neat extension. Of course, I have Evernote, and the history analysis is kind of cool. So this shows you where you spend your time. Which is, kind of eye-opening every now and then to look and see, oh my gosh, I spend way, way too much time in Blackboard, or I spend way, way too much time on Facebook. Thank goodness it's not loading for you guys. You can't see where I spend all my time. But it's a neat extension too, and that one's called History Analysis. And then, again, this one tab just collapses all your tabs into one screen and then archives it over here in a little table of contents. So wasn't planning on showing you guys that, but some really neat extensions there. And if you run across any that you find useful, I really would like for you to add it to the resource cheat sheet. That way everyone else can play around with them too. So
I had one that was downloaded, and it was like a movie maker. I don't recall. I want to give credit to one of my knowledge seekers.
I told you about it?
Too, and it records, does videos, and it was when we were talking about Jing, and using that as a way to do small little video clips. And
yeah, little screen captures. Little screen captures.
Yeah, but it does also it does videos as well. It's really cool. So the moment, and I don't remember who it was because I didn't write it down. So sorry, but I do want to give credit to one of the students that were in the class.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about this is we all get to learn from each other for sure.
Yeah.
Julie has one that's really neat on her laptop. What is that one that you use to take screenshots really quickly? Do you know the name of it? If you don't offhand, just put it in the resource cheat sheet. And there's some very neat productivity type stuff that can just save you tons of time. So really good questions about that coming in. Okay, so we're down to 4 minutes. This always happens. I want to make sure that I think we might can get to all of these if we kind of move through them a little bit more quickly. So I had some questions come in about our master's program, and you know, if you're really interested, I encourage you to reach out to me or Julie or any of the team leads if you want to know what it's like from a student vantage point. But I can answer any questions about starting and scholarships because I actually work in the graduate office. And the other question that came in was, do you get the SoftChalks license if you're in our program? And you do, because you take courses, and the fall course that we teach is how to develop an online course or a hybrid course. And so part of that is building SoftChalks within that project. So you have to have SoftChalk to be able to do it. So yes, you do get a license for SoftChalk as a student in our program. So those are good questions there. And then we had a question come in from Dominic that I thought was really profound from last week about dissolving the divide between actual and digital citizenship. And he cited Oler and Oler's book. And he really wanted to know about whether or not teachers are kind of buying into that. And so what I like about your questions, Dominic, are they're always leading into my next module. So if you notice in week 5, we're talking about teacher leadership and how you as a teacher can affect change, not only with implementing technology in your classroom, but with this very question. So, you know, we've taught character education and civility since, you know, he was talking about when he was in school in the 60s, and remembering teachers that impacted him and taught him civility and taught him about being a good citizen and about having strong character. And so his book is all about how do we now also teach that in the digital realm. And so Dominic's question was, are teachers on board with this? And Oler's point in 2010 was that you know, a lot of teachers just didn't understand the wild, wild World Wide Web. Can't believe I just got that out. But you know, now I think it's 2016, and more we're understanding Facebook, we're understanding social media, we're understanding the power that we can harness, and it's not so scary for us. And so Dominic, to answer your question of whether teachers are on board, I believe that they are. By virtue of staying in this course through the last 4.5 weeks, I can tell that you guys are, and so that's encouraging. Do any of you have anything to add to that, in terms of teaching your students about digital citizenship and not just with regard to being safe, but to being a good citizen when it comes to sharing and to respecting others? I may have said too much, sorry.
When I learned about digital citizenship for the first time, something I saw somewhere, I wasn't sure if it was a classmate or instructor, they basically said, like, when you're putting something out online, just think, would you want your mother to read this or your employer to read this? It's just remembering, being very mindful that you're not just a citizen at your physical location, but you're a global citizen now. And a lot of things that we put out there aren't just going to go away. It's permanent. It's documented. So even with privacy settings, just be aware that whatever you put on the internet is basically public domain at that point.
Yeah, that's great advice. And, you know, I hope that what you're reading in week 5, and hopefully you've watched Adams Ballou's keynote from 2013. I feel like everything that you learn in this course can lead you to being a leader of other teachers who then understand and can teach digital citizenship to students. And so that's my hope, that, you know, one of the outcomes of this course. It's my hope that you've gotten that out of this course. So let's see, the last one, and we don't have much time. In fact, we're out of time, but Carol had researched some apps for middle school math, and so I'm not remembering who asked that, but I'm going to put Carol in touch with you if you ask that question. Yeah, let's see, who is that? Yeah, Katie. Katie from Knowledge Seekers. So she's on your team, actually. So if you will share with Katie some apps that you've found for middle school math. And then, Katie, I'll also put you in touch with one of my graduate students who's about to finish his thesis. His thesis was on virtual manipulatives in beginning algebra for remediation, and it's very fascinating. He actually developed his own virtual manipulative to show balanced equations with a scale. And so I'll put you in touch with him too, because he would know some good apps and good resources for you. So, yay, we got to all the questions. What about on the back channel, Julie? Do we need to address anything else?
No, we've hit everything, and I put a bunch of notes on there with links to everything that we talked about. So.
Okay, great. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in to this last broadcast and for being a part of this course. And any questions that we can answer from here on out, please let us know. Remember, the class ends on Thursday at 11:59 p.m., so you need to have all of week 5 done by Thursday. And we will have your completion packets mailed out the following Friday. So on July 8th, Julie and I will be hand packing those completion packets and sending them to you in the mail. And so let us know if you have any issues there or questions. And other than that, I think we'll sign off for the rest of the class, and we'll see anyone who wants to join in again next year. So thanks again, and take care.
Bye, guys. Bye, Knowledge Seekers.
Thank you to Dr. Baker, too. It's been a great course, and it is every year. So thanks, Dr. Baker.
Oh, thank you, Julie.
Thank you, guys.